My queen, first, is always great to see you. Always a
Thank you.
pleasure. In fact, I think this year I've probably done the most. If I say the single person I've spoken to the most this year for interviews, I think it's you. You,
Really?
yeah, you have been busy, but not just busy though, but you've been getting your flowers, which I love. You've been getting it. Cardi's been getting it. Maestro's been getting it. How does it feel when you think about the triple threat who have come together for so many years
Hmm.
and building a foundation and being able to get through those brick walls that said
Hmm.
no, 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 and you all were just like, I don't think so, to become the icons that you are in this country, and now again receiving awards, honors. How does that feel, knowing the work that you've done over the years?
I think that it truly, well, thanks, Rudy, for having my back for my entire career. It's been 29 years,
Yeah.
literally, and so it's a blessing. And so I often like to give back the flowers as well, right? But I call these flowers perennials, and I think a lot of times people want to give us, we want to give out flowers that are literally going to die. But when you plant the right seeds and you recognize that there's a reason and a season for everything, then these perennials will come back around. And so it's amazing to be able to truly live out my ancestors' wildest dreams. And I'm grateful, super duper grateful to be 47 years old. I just celebrated 47 years 2 weeks ago, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud to age. I'm grateful to age. And to have that wisdom that only those bricks, those brick walls that we had to kick down and we're still kicking down, the work doesn't stop. The glass ceiling, it's there. It's a little higher. The glass ceiling, it tends to keep going higher and higher. But you know what? I said to a mentor, a mentee just yesterday, I was at the Imagine Summit. And
Yes.
because my mentor said it to me, she said, you don't climb the mountain so that people could see you at the top. You climb the mountain so that you could see who needs your help. And you could
Yes.
have that wisdom and share that strength, right? So it's a good time.
Okay, now one thing I've been trying to figure out exactly. First,
Mhm.
congratulations on the engagement.
Oh, thank you. And
Okay, but there isn't a marriage yet, correct?
no, no,
Okay,
next
because I
year.
thought I saw you in a white dress or something, and I was thinking to
Yes.
myself, did she actually get married or not?
No, so I'm doing a lot with, I just became a Jamaican citizen officially. I'm first generation Canadian. Yes, I went through and I did it through my mom's legacy. I got all of her papers notarized, everything from deed polls to citizenships to divorce papers, marriage papers. My parents divorced when I was a kid, so I didn't know if it was still possible, being that I would have to do it through my mom without having contact with my dad. So I did it. I have my
Mm.
passport, I have my citizenship. And so I'm working with the Jamaican Tourism Board and the whole culture of Jamaica to be like, you know what? Many of us are the products of our parents leaving, right? But when are we going to actually look back and go in and see the fruits of their labor and their sacrifice, right? So I did a whole campaign with Jamaica Tourism to show that I'm getting married in Jamaica next year, 2025, to show that Destination Jamaica is where it's at.
Mm.
So I did say yes to the dress, but that's not the dress that I'm wearing. But I wanted to showcase another boutique.
But you did say yes.
I did
Congratulations
say yes.
on that.
Figure it out.
Could you to just give us a little story on how it happened? I always love
Oh,
these.
everybody wants to know that tea.
Yes.
You're gonna have to wait for that tea. You're
Oh,
gonna have to wait for that tea. Just
okay.
say it, but just know that music brought us together. And it was
Okay.
in person. It wasn't a dating app. It was actually in person.
Okay. Speaking of music, this
Hmm.
is one of the big reasons why that we're speaking. One of the reasons why I'm dressed like this. It's an annual event that is coming up, basically organized by two people who have really become not just icons to the city, but really ambassadors to the city. It's going to be a beautiful show. What show are you going to be part of that I cannot wait to be in the audience to hear you do what you do best, and that's perform?
Thank you. It's Christmas with the Clemons. Queen Diane Clemons and Michael Pinball Clemons, who are also friends of mine, mentors of mine. They have been doing this for many, many years, and it's amazing to come together to lend our voices, to raise money for their foundation, empowering youth, marginalized youth, at-risk youth, and just giving the gift of education and giving the gift of pride and dignity. That's the one thing you're going to realize. So when you hang out with those two and you're a part of their mission, it's not just here or giving money. It's not a hand me down. It's actually a hand me up, and it's amazing to see how they've represented love, Black love, the
Yes.
family, the Black family. Hello, and showing that what? Come on, better together.
Absolutely. I know she's going to be performing.
Mhm.
I was there last year. She did amazing. There are lots of great performers, but I think for a lot of people today to actually know that you and Deborah Cox
Yes,
on the same like I'm getting
same
goosebumps
ticket.
right now. How do you feel about that when we've got I mean we use the term queen so many times. If I could come up with a word even bigger than queens, I would use
Yeah.
that to know that you all are going to be using the same stage, performing on the same show. That's unheard of.
Yeah, it's for the same mission, and it's a slither of my dream that I have. I have a dream to do a tour called Canadian Maples, and I want it to be Deborah Cox, Tamia, Melanie Fiona, Divine Brown, Savannah Ray, like you name it. Like I have a whole. It's been percolating. A good friend of mine, Hollywood Jade, we've been talking about this probably since like, I don't know, 2015. So hopefully this is a slice of what could happen in the future. And so yeah, Division's on the ticket,
Yeah.
Patricia Shirley on the ticket. Like they've really at Roy Thompson Hall. I'll go
Yeah.
actually get to see my star again. I haven't been back to my star since I got inducted a couple years ago. So I'm definitely gonna take a stop and take a look and say, you know what? From the outside to the inside, inside to the outside. It's great.
And the other thing I love about this show is everybody dresses so elegant. Like this
Oh
is
yeah.
really just it's such a classy, beautiful show. The stage is amazing. Even though y'all have sort of, your set songs and whatever, you still don't know what is going to happen on stage because I saw things that happened. And when I talked to them afterwards, they're like, no, this wasn't supposed to happen. It's
Yeah.
just a magical event.
It is, and I'm gonna be doing. I won't say what I'm doing here. It'll be a surprise, but it's definitely gonna be something unexpected and something that's gonna really create some awesome community. I will say this: the last time I performed at Christmas with the Clemons was a couple days before my mom's funeral, and they had thought I was. Many thought I was gonna not show, and I'm like, no, my mom would want me to be here. So to be here now, this will be 7 years since my mom passed away and thriving, turning grief into greatness, right? And being able to represent her legacy and continue to show that what, there's no retirement in purpose. There's so much left to be done. And my mom would say rob the grave. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm robbing the grave.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I saw an interview and I think you glanced over it already.
Mhm.
Is there a tour happening with you? Because I've
Yes,
heard, okay, I want to make sure I got that confirmed. What is
yes.
happening with this?
First tour, the Songs and Stories tour. I kick off February 7th, going across Canada. First tour in 16 years,
Yes.
headlining, doing it on my own, independent. So you know what? We need everyone to come out for sure. But it's the beginning of a new season. Really, really, it's 30 years. I'm sorry, it's gonna be 20 years, pardon me, since This Is Me, since my first album. So it's the 20th anniversary of This Is Me. And I have new music that's been recorded. This is kind of like the appetizer because
Hmm.
you see how all those Swifties were downtown, we're shutting streets down. It's coming. And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna quit on that dream. Ever, ever, ever. At one point it started to get a little dim. It's like, you know what? No, no, no. No, no, no. If you could see it, you could believe it, you can manifest it. And so, like I said earlier, it's not for everyone to look at me and say, oh, Jully's up there, she's up there. It's like, no, my mom would say, you can't get to the top of a mountain climbing a smooth surface. It has to be bumpy. It has to be bumpy. You need something to grip and climb, right? And so yeah, please come on out. It's gonna be fabulous. And I have to send a thank you right now to my manager, Jason Reynolds. And I'm saying this
Mhm.
because years ago we made a plan. He said, listen, this might be a 2-year plan. We're gonna get you touring again. He's out there, he's an amazing manager and
Love it.
tour manager and engineer and all the things. He's toured with the best of them. He's out there right now at Maverick City. He's done Kirk Franklin, Shaggy, Marley Brothers, you name it. And he treats me exactly the same. In fact, probably even better, right? And he's
Love
like,
it.
I believe in you. So this tour and my new agency, Paquin, Jason Furman and all the rest of them, like I had to, I know this interview is for another reason, but I want to share this with you, Rudy, because you've been here
Yes.
for the whole time. And I had to make some changes that were difficult. I had to make some new decisions and step out of my comfort zone and move some people out of the way and say that season ended. And that's okay. It served a purpose. And with love, I release you. And when I made space for the right thing, it's no different than the home on native land. Like I had that space, that mental clarity to say, okay, I'm going to do this for Indigenous folks. I'm going to go out there and mentor youth. I'm going to say, I need help. I need support. I need funding. I need resource because I'm not quitting on this dream. So I wanted to share that with you, especially as a friend and a friend in the business and someone who I feel so emotional, who has never, ever said no to talking to me. So
Never.
thank you, Rudy.
Never, never, and thank you too. There are two things I really want to point out. I'm going to talk about the tough side to Julie Black. And when I say tough, I don't want to let people know where it was or whatever, because it was a recent thing that you and I were involved with.
Mm,
And I was watching this. I
mm.
saw you when you had to sign a certain piece of paper
Okay.
and watching your tenacity just with that going, no, no,
Oh,
that's not happening. Nope. Nope. Like, I don't think I've ever seen you as tough as you were in that small setting, which made me think,
oh,
oh my goodness, I can only imagine if you were in a boardroom, what
yeah.
would be happening? How did you become so strong in a business that really can tear people apart?
It's who I've always been, to be
Mhm.
open. It's who else I've been. I love law. I graduated with law enforcement from Seneca College, but there was a section in contracts, and I just loved it. And I realized that, oh, I relate to this. It's easy for me to understand. I actually, true story, right before this interview, I just finished finalizing my will and power of attorney,
Wow.
right? Yeah, I'm in estate planning, like it's so fun fact, Julie Black loves that stuff too. And so most of us don't read fine print. I'm getting married. Every vendor that sends a contract, we're reading every line and we're changing things. We're not just, okay, yeah, sure, we'll take those flowers. Yeah, we'll take those photos, we'll take those videos. No, my likeness, it's my image and likeness. No, you can't sell my image and likeness. No.
Oh, that's
Guess
right.
what? I'm not your average bride, right?
That's
So
right. I didn't think of that.
yeah, you can't just post it on your socials. You can't just give it to a magazine. No, that's a no. But so that's just who I am, how I've always been, and I do it with a smile because it's not a war here, it's a negotiation.
The other thing too, from when I saw you at History and even at History, meaning the Legacy Awards,
Mm.
um, and when I saw you at earlier this year at CBC when they were doing the announcements for shows,
Paid in full. Yeah.
and this event that you and I were at, the small event that you and I were at, you have a way of dealing with people who come at you from every ground. Somebody is trying to touch you on your shoulder. Somebody is touching you on the hip. Somebody is touching you on your arm. And you give the same kind of vibe of almost immediately knowing there's a fan here. I need to treat them with respect because they are very excited of seeing me. How do you do that constantly? Because I could not imagine having this happen to me every moment, but
Yeah.
still giving these folks exactly what they're hoping for, an experience with the queen of Canadian R&B.
Thank you for acknowledging that. So it's funny, my mom, I wanted to do media training when I was a kid. Like I'm
Mm.
talking like 12 years old. And so I also played ball and volleyball and all the things, but there were other extracurricular things that I wanted to do. And I went to etiquette school and I took media training. And so there's something called the personal touch. And at the end of the day, most people want to just be acknowledged. Two eyes
Yes.
make four. Let them know that you see them. Now, thanks to COVID, I do have more boundaries. I don't hug everyone, right? I have to really protect my space, not just for viruses, but for energy, right? But I'll always, always, always make sure that that person is acknowledged, no matter what. People are my currency. That's my currency, not streams, not tickets. The people are my absolute currency. So thank you for acknowledging that too, because it's very, very important. That's why sad to say people get into gang life. They're looking for a sense
Yes.
of belonging, right? It's basically the same thing. But imagine it's like, you know what? I see you. I see, just give me a sec. Yes, I'll take that picture. And there's times where it's like, you know what? I'm not doing photos right now, but I'd love to see you again. Like, just acknowledge, because I also have the right to say no.
That's true. But I've never seen you say no yet.
I know.
So haven't seen it yet. Before we go, because we are in the holiday season,
Mhm.
Christmas, um, what would you say was either your favorite, or you can say both. What was your favorite Christmas gift as a child, or your favorite Christmas holiday moment?
Wow. First thought, right thought, my Christmas favorite Christmas holiday moment it's always been, and I miss it, is watching my mom bake her cakes and me
Um,
actually selling them. So I would drive around. Arlene Dickinson would buy 8 cakes a year from my mom.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All the kink crew. Like I was selling cakes, and my mom was like, you're Julie Black, right? I'm like, no, I'm your manager right now. Okay, we're gonna change this price point. Just lessen the rum because people are gonna be eating and driving. Stop it. And then at the end, my mom would fan out her money and I'll take
Mhm.
a picture. I have to look for one of those pictures. She'd be like, making it rain. So that's definitely my favorite holiday moment. As far as a gift, the last gift I remember receiving from my late sister Sharon was a Sony Walkman, and it was white.
Wow.
She never, it
Wow.
was a white Walkman. And I'm
Sorry to interrupt. Silver and yellow. Yes, I don't think I've ever seen a white Walkman
It
in
was
my life.
white. I wish I still had it to this day. I should have kept it. I was 12. She passed away when I was 12. So I had it for a little bit. And of course, technology changed. But I'll never forget it. I see it in my mind's eye. I remember actually ripping a piece of the wrapping paper and I was like, oh, and I tried to tape it back and she knew that I saw it. And so I wasn't allowed to open it on Christmas. She made me open it on Boxing Day.
I love it. I love it. Before we go, we are going into 2025, and as you know, especially the since November, things have really been scary for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Um, what advice can you give folks for the new year who are hoping, even though things can be very disturbing out there, that there is hope, there is, that light down the tunnel. What advice can you give them as people are traveling through this time?
This It's interesting. This has been my advice, and it came back right to me again right now. It's if there is a load you cannot bear and that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Ask for help. Ask for help. It's out there.
It is. And there's a reason why we call you Queen. I cannot wait to see you on the show. Congratulations on your engagement. Congratulations on the upcoming wedding. Congratulations on being a citizen of Jamaica.
Yes.
And more importantly, congratulations on this tour that we have been waiting for a decade and a half. This is going to be so exciting. Um, I will see you at the Clemons show,
Sounds
and
good.
all the best for you over the holidays, and all the best for you in 2025. I know we're going to be talking a hell of a lot more. Always love and respect, my queen. Thank you for this interview.
Thank you. Thank you. So good.